Hello everybody, welcome back to flower season. So today's video is gonna be a project. So we're making a few raised beds, veggie raised beds, and for flowers too. So we're making 5 in total. Carlos is measuring the wood right now, but they're gonna go over here. We also made a gravel patio, and I ended up deleting all the footage, and I'm so mad about it, but you know, it is what it is. If anybody has any questions on that, just let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer all your questions on it. We're not done, so I'll show you guys in a different video the whole finished product. Anyways, we are going to do 3 by 5 beds, so 3 feet wide and 5 feet long. The wood that Carlos is using is pine. Pine is not the best rot resistant wood, so you guys can use whatever you want or something better than pine, but that's what we're using. It's untreated pine, so FYI, use a different wood if you want something that's gonna be long term. And this pine that we're using is 8 inches high and 2 inches thick and 8 feet long. So that's why we're cutting them 3 by 5. So we ended up spending around $100 on wood, which is not bad considering that we're making 5 beds in total. So now Carlos is just adding 1 screw, and these are decking screws. He's putting 1 just to put all the pieces together, and then he's gonna add 2 more. So he's putting 1 in the middle and then 2 more, and then he's using a hammer just to hammer in the screw, and then he's gonna use the drill and drill it in, just that way he doesn't have to hold the screw, because sometimes you can just drop the screw. If you know, it's easier when you hammer it in just a little bit, just a tip. So he's gonna build all the beds first, and then he's gonna add the rest of the screws. And I was just gonna do super simple flower beds on this area, just, you know, temporary ones with no borders or anything like that, just in ground. But Carlos said that he would do them for me, so I was super excited about it. And now we're gonna grow on these beds, we're gonna grow more veggies than flowers, just because, you know, we hear a lot of talk about shortages and stuff, and even though we're not super worried about it, we do think that it's really important to learn how to grow your own veggies. And you know, if we can cut down in tomatoes and peppers from the store and onions, we will be super thrilled. So we'll see how this little garden is gonna go. Veggie garden. And I'm already telling Carlos about expanding it, adding two longer beds, but he's like, we haven't even planted anything in them yet. But yeah, so right now we're just measuring just to make sure that they're the same length from corner to corner. That's an extra step. They look pretty square to me, so we didn't really have to do that. So now that he did that, he's going to screw in the other 2 screws just to make it super secure. Yeah, so he's gonna do that to all of them. And next we're going to put like a liner. These are just regular trash bags. They're plastic bags, and we're gonna line all the beds with them. And he's using just one of those staple hammers that they sell for like roofing. He had one that he only used once, and he was pretty thrilled that he used it again. So yeah, he's lining them with those plastic bags, but yeah, and this is just so they have a more they last a little bit longer. That way the wet soil doesn't make a lot of contact with the wood. So every bed cost us around $25, around. not 100%, maybe like $20 to $21 per bed, which is not bad at all, super cheap. But you also have to think about filling. That $20 to $21 is without filling them. So you do have to think about, you know, how much you want to spend, or how thick, how tall you want them, because that will add to the cost. So we are tilling them, so we don't spend more money on them. We will add a few bags of garden soil just to fill them up a little bit more, but yeah. And if you're not too worried about how much you spend, then you can just fill them all the way up and you don't have to till, which tilling I think is the most back-breaking step for this raised beds. The putting them together was fairly easy, so yeah. So now Carlos is just making a few stakes. I think that sounded right, stakes, excuse my English. Just to put in the middle of each side of the raised beds, just to, you know, put another screw in so they're a little bit more secure to the ground. And the wood he's using is just, I think it's also pine, and it's a 2x4. But yeah, I'm super excited to start planting. I have all my veggies, well, most of them ready. I started them from seed. Some of them are for my mom, but I am gonna keep a few for myself. So he's going to get the stake in the ground with this sledgehammer. But yeah, it's just easier with a sledgehammer, you know. And then he's just gonna screw it in, and that's it. And he's just going to finish this. My little Christian wanted to help his daddy so bad, so Carlos told him to, in the last few that he had, to that he could help, but he was so happy. My little Christian is a non-verbal autistic, so he can't really tell him, but most of the times we know that he wants to help. He's really into fixing things, just like Carlos. He wanted to, like, we could tell that he wanted to help with the saw, but we're like, no, you can't get near the saw. But with this sledgehammer, you know, it's not a safe tool, but his daddy was helping him, so he was fine. And he got distracted with an airplane after that. But they kept on going. It was a really tender moment for them. I mean, it was so cute. So they're gonna finish by adding 2 more screws, and now he's using 3-inch screws for the stakes to screw them in with the other wood. They just needed something a little bit more bigger. So now it's a different day, like you guys can see, and it's a much warmer day. So now we're just adding a few amendments. I am adding gypsum. Gypsum is just a soil conditioner. It helps with compacted soils. So we're gonna add a cup of this. And we're also gonna add a full bag of compost cow manure, just to help, you know, with, you know, the amendments and all of that stuff. And we're gonna add that on each bed. So 1 bag of compost and a cup of gypsum. And this is just for now. Yeah. And then, like you guys see Carlos, he's already mixing everything together. We already added all of that into the one that he's working on right now. And we also ended up mixing a bag of garden soil on each bed. We're going to top them off with a little bit of more soil whenever we do the planting, but for now this is how it's gonna end. All right, everybody, I hope you guys like this video, and see you till next time. Bye bye.